silence for the conflicts in the Middle East that are going on. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We have one resolution to start off, and we have two presentations for our police department members, one who left us and one who's now being promoted. So it's a great honor to be here with, and a nice turnout with the police department and family as well. So thank you very much, guys. So we'll first start off just with the resolution to promote Edwin Ramos Jr. to the position of police sergeant effective October 16, 2023. Motion?
Motion.
Steve on the motion. Second?
Second.
On second. Questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0. That's great. So if you could just stand by for a minute. Chief, at this point, we would like to recognize the retirement of Francis Orignano. If you would please come up.
Thank you all for coming. Today's a special day for the police department, not only just for Frank, but for Edwin, so I appreciate you all being here. For those who don't know in the crowd, Frank's worked here 22 years. Started out as a dispatcher in 2001, part-time dispatcher, and became a part-time police officer. I was lucky enough to take the test and become a police officer full-time. I got promoted to detective shortly thereafter, I think 2010. And in 2017, when I became chief, it was my first selection as sergeant. It was a no-brainer. Very proud of the position he was in, and I appreciate all the help that he provided me in the department. It's a big loss for us to lose him when he was retired, but I think he made the right decision. It's for his family, personal life. But we do miss him, and we do appreciate all the time that you provided to us, the village, and the members of the public. So I want to say thank you.
So, Frank, with that, just a small token, but something to remember the village by and your time, is a plaque that we put together for you, just basically for the congratulations on your retirement, Francis A. Sorignano, in recognition and appreciation of your dedication and years of outstanding service to the village of Washingtonville from 2001 to 2023. Thank you. Thank you.
He's no longer working, he's just trashing the place.
Thank you, guys.
Facebook opportunity.
All within the village?
Yeah, yeah.
Just the family.
I've been here 30 years.
I have not spent 20 years in any one spot.
That's okay. Sometimes boring.
Not yet.
Not yet.
I did, but
Still young. You're still young. Brian did. Can you tell?
thank you.
Thank you, congratulations.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Mary, you want to take a picture?
Yeah, sure.
That board, some of the board members in the background.
We're not insulted.
Thanks, Frank.
Thanks, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So now I'll turn it back over to the chief for the promotion ceremony.
So with that retirement, I'm pleased to announce Edwin Ramos being promoted to sergeant. Edwin started here in 2017. I remember his interview. We're trying to hire a bunch of people all at the same time, and every other police department was trying to hire people. I remember Edwin came, I remember specifically, he came in for the interview, Sergeant Lopez at the time was doing the interview, and said, get in here, this kid's pretty good. So I came in there and I said, all right, we're gonna move along to the next step. We brought him downstairs, I think Detective Anderson was downstairs, and I remember Edwin smiling. He was like so confused, like, he came here for an interview and now he's getting a background check. He's like, what's going on here? I'm gonna be a police officer, but a great decision we made by bringing him upon board, and I don't regret that decision. So, in the short time that he's worked here, he's been here 6 years. A short time, he's a firearms instructor. He has instructor development training. He's our ASP training. The guys bust his chops about the ASP. He's very proud of it. And he's got other training. He with the new firearms, the Red Dot scope, he went to specialized training just for that. He really put on the training for all the members and helped them talk. And Taser, he's a Taser instructor too. So he has a heart for the instructing, the teaching of it, and proud of that. And I want to say thank you again. So I'm going to give you a shield. And ask for your wife to come up and pin it on his chest if you don't want to stab him. Just do that again.
Pictures.
Just make it look like.
Excellent. Thank you.
And Christine's going to do the oath of office.
Ready, everyone? Yep. There you go. Raise your right hand, please, and repeat after me. I, Edwin Ramos Jr.,
I, Edwin Ramos Jr.,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the constitutions
that I will support the constitutions
of the United States
of the United States
and the state of New York,
and the state of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of police sergeant
of police sergeant
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
I don't think it goes up too fast.
If we ask the
Family wanna
family
take
to come up,
pictures?
we'll take some pictures over here.
Yeah.
If you don't mind.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
Want a group picture, Chief?
Yes.
Well, thanks, guys, appreciate it.
Stay safe. Can you check?
Thank you, guys, thanks.
I appreciate it, thank you.
Thank you. See you at the bank.
Good to see you, Mr. Woodruff. Give your name right. Okay. Oh, you did?
Good night. See you later.
It's more important. No, it's
See you
not.
tomorrow.
Lisa, don't say goodbye.
Don't
say goodbye.
I am not staying for another meeting. Goodbye. Everybody, it's been a pleasure.
Here, perfect. Good night. Okay. Hello, Edie, how are you?
It was nice to meet you.
So we'll resume our meeting and we'll start off
Thank
with,
you.
if there happens to be any public comment at this moment.
This is our attorney.
Okay, with no comment, we will move on to our agenda. First is just an announcement to take notice that all unpaid Village of Washingtonville taxes that will be due on October 31st, 2023, and will be re-levied to the County of Orange on November 2nd, 2023. On this date, the village will not be accepting any more tax payments.
Tom,
Yes?
can I just add to that, that unpaid water and sewer are considered taxes and they will be re-levied as well at that time?
Good. Thank you. Okay, to start our discussion portion, we'll start off with the deficit financing update from our treasurer, Leslie. Absolutely.
Okay, as I mentioned the last meeting, we officially closed on the ban on October 5th. So we received the $4.4 million. Again, this is a one-year note and will mature next October and be converted to a 9-year bond. We had a call last week with the New York State Comptroller's Office to discuss the deadlines for this deficit financing. And again, as we mentioned last meeting, the village is required to submit quarterly budget reports, quarterly trial balances, and annual budgets to New York State for their approval and review. On October 11th, the village transferred $4 million of the $4.4 million ban and set up a investment account under New York Class. The interest rate currently being earned on this is 5.28%. All the interest earnings on this account will be used to offset the interest expense on the ban when it matures next October of 2024. As of October 13th, the total interest earned to date is $2,314. The village will be mailing out a letter to all its residents within the next week. The letter will explain how the village ended up in this financial deficit, as well as what the current administration is working on to resolve it. And just some follow-ups with what I mentioned at the last meeting on October 2nd. We had a call with the consultants last week regarding the audit for fiscal year end February 20th, 2020, and we are on track to get all the information that's required by the end of this month to the external auditors. The village has a call on October 18th with the new financial software Edmunds to start the transition process from the current financial software QuickBooks, and we are still on track to go live on February 1st of 2024. And as I mentioned, we'll be transitioning the property taxes and water sewer billings on May 1st of 2024. We also had a follow-up call last week with the New York State Controller's Office regarding their risk assessment for the village. They are reviewing multiple years, as I mentioned, and then when they are finished, they will provide the village with a report on their findings. This month, as I mentioned, the mayor and myself will be setting up department head meetings to start the budget process for fiscal year end 2025.
Thank you, Melissa. Okay, continue on our discussion portion of the agenda. Just to note that Congressman Pat Ryan will be visiting the Village Hall on Wednesday, November 15th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. for any assistance to our residents. It seems that he's running a circuit, I guess, through the county area and, you know, making himself available to the residents. So if there's anything you would like to discuss with Congressman Pat Ryan, again, it will be November 15th from 11 to 1. Item C is New York State Police Service Grant, which we received. This is where we actively, our police department is out, obviously doing seatbelt safety checks. And we had received a grant, I believe, Chief, in the neighborhood of about $33,000 or $3,500.
Yeah, I believe 3,500,
Yeah.
$3,800.
Okay. Okay, so next item, D, we have the pickleball courts. The area for the courts has been paved, so that's good news. And the pickleball court fencing will be going up hopefully shortly. We're waiting on the company to basically give us the outline and the, of taping of where the lines will be drawn, so the fence company could know exactly where to put the fence around the outside and then the fence that separates the courts. The painting of the court at this point will probably wait till spring due to the temperatures that are getting a little low for the type of acrylic application that they use. They don't recommend it below a certain temperature installing it, so we're gonna wait till the spring. And I think everybody will be really pleased with the courts, and we're really excited to get this project completed and have it open for everyone to use. Just a side note too, we're also, as I mentioned previous, the light poles that we have out there that was used during the days of roller hockey, they're gonna need some work, so we have an electrician and a group basically giving an overview or estimating what's wrong with what's going on down there with the lights. Either the light bulbs might be bad or we have some wiring issues. But at the end of the day, we're just waiting to get the cost back to see if it can be fixed, or potentially looking for upgrading it to LED lighting, which would obviously be more efficient. Notice, let's see, discussion F, notice from the Orange County public hearing for their 2024 budget on October 19, 2023 at 5 p.m. at their legislative chambers, 255 Main Street, Goshen, New York. We put that information out on the website as well as Facebook for the notice. Okay. Discussion portion here is G. So we have the reminder for the Witchingtonville event, which is coming up this Saturday, October 21st, and it's an all-day type of an event. There's a morning portion of this that takes place at Burn Allen Park from 11 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. It's really more geared for younger children, entertainment, food. There'll be some trucks there. Like the 4th of July fireworks we had shut down that portion of Ahern Boulevard between Revere and Decker. So that will be happening again for this event for those number of hours. And then for the evening event, that's really more geared towards potentially older children, adults, etc. And that will be in our downtown area between A.J. McLaughlin Square, the Village parking lot area across from the Washingtonville Pharmacy. We also will have things going on from the next to Amada in that lot, and a portion of the parking lot will be closed for additional vendors and events. So it's a whole day. Our events committee has worked really, really hard on this, so we're really looking, hopefully the weather will cooperate and everybody can come out, because last year's event was well attended, and we would expect this Saturday to be the same. So please join us if you can. And obviously there will be some heavier traffic situations because of people and the entertainment and things going on. So, you know, if you need to, try to find a way maybe not to go through the center of the village, go out to Locust, to Cardinal Drive. But we also have drawings of each event showing where everything will be located. And it's also been posted on our Facebook and also on our webpage. And if you have any questions, you know, you feel free to call the Village Hall, or you can call me directly as well on my cell, which I've advertised out there. It's 845-849-4523, and the Village Hall is 845-496-3221. And if you have any questions, we'd be glad to answer whatever your questions are. Okay. H is a tree dedication along Ahern Boulevard. This is something that I personally have been trying to get this off the ground for a couple of years while I was on the board previously. But I think come this spring, we're going to be able to have this initiative. And it's kind of, we haven't come up with a coining the name of it or whatever, but for an example, if you had a loved one that you would like to dedicate a tree to, or really anything, our goal here is to put in cherry blossoms, white and red or pink, and we want to start at the Vern Allen Park area and work our way down Vern Allen Park through Ahern and then all the way down as far as we could go. So this will be something that I think we'll be planning to do in May. We also have a Girl Scout brownie troop that is interested in one of their projects is to plant a tree. So we've already spoken to them. We'll touch base with them in March of next year, and then potentially plant that tree in May, or whatever schedule really works for them. But the main thrust of this will be in May for anybody who would like to get a tree. Okay. Next we have our sensory garden at the Fireman's Memorial Park. The paver project has been completed. All that work was done by our DPW team. They did a really, really nice job. It looks beautiful, all mulched off and everything. So kudos to everybody that was involved in that project. Thank you very much. Next, we have a comprehensive plan update by Donna.
Okay, you want the short version or the long version?
How about something in the middle?
Okay. So Bonnie Franson and our comprehensive committee started in June. They completed 4 months of work so far. Thursday will be the 5th meeting. The projection was a year out, so by June of 2024, this should be completed. Right now, what they started with was creating a baseline inventory. And what that basically is gathering our demographics, land use, our zoning, our environmentals, recreation, community services such as the PD, fire department, and EMS, and the historic pieces, National Register. And so they gathered that data. That's completed. They created maps. maps based on that. We did overlays with that. The part that is currently being worked on right now is part 2, which is the vision, the goals, and the objectives. So the committee, of course, it was a committee that was in place that from the prior administration, so we narrowed it down to, currently have 9 members from the 30-something. They're working extremely diligently. And the residents also have a say in this. So currently, this Thursday, they are launching a mini-survey. And that mini-survey is going to be on a postcard. This is not the actual size, obviously, it will be postcard size, and it's going to be mailed in a resident letter to every household in the village. So close to 2,000 will go out. There's a QR code to scan, and it will lead you right to the mini-survey. So the data from this mini-survey will be reviewed, which will create the larger final survey. And basically what that's going to do is compile the information and really the wants of what the residents feel we need moving forward, the vision that they would like to see for our village for at least the next 10 years. So this committee will greatly impact the future of our village. I don't know how else to put it. So we will encourage everybody to please fill out that survey. And again, the data from that survey will be used for the larger survey. And based on those results, a new comprehensive plan will be formed. After that is in place, in addition to the surveys, to get more public input, we're going to have a workshop that's projected for maybe the end of November, December. And between the results from that workshop and the surveys and the work that the committee is doing, they will draft a comprehensive plan. That's going to be starting in November. And the last piece of that will be the zoning amendments. So once the comprehensive draft is done, we will need to revise our zoning, clean up our codes. We'll make the zoning align with the new comprehensive plan. So they look at the largest pieces of land that is not developed. What do we want to see there? Is it zoned for that? What changes need to be made? There's definitely some changes in our language that needs to be revised. Then once that is all done, we do the SEQA, the State Environmental Quality Review Act, to make sure that we can do what we would like to see happen. There will also be a village board public hearing, open for public comments, prior to the final comp plan amendment and zoning. So there's definitely at least 3 big opportunities for the public to be involved. And of course, those comp meetings are open the 3rd Thursday of every month, 6:30 here in the village, for residents to come and again give public comment.
Great. Now, you guys are doing a really, really good job. Been watching the videos and so forth, and again, to you and Bonnie's leadership on this, it's really being done very well. And I hope that the public will participate and give us their thoughts and ideas on as everything you just described. So I think it's really great steps that have been taken so far. So great, thank you.
And just one other thing, for those, there is a QR code, right? But not everybody has a cell phone. We want to also consider our seniors. So there will be hard copies of the surveys left at the library on our website that they can complete and drop off here. We will have a bin ready for hard copies to come in as well.
That's a good idea. Maybe another suggestion, we can make some copies and actually just drop them off at the management people at each senior complex. So when they have their little events and they go to, you know, inside the building to have their meetings and so forth, that stuff could be available for them as well.
So I mentioned this was the postcard, and it will be postcard size. This is a flyer that will also be available, that we can post wherever they'll let us post it, on bulletin boards locally, or like Tom, you just mentioned.
Yeah. It's great, we'll have to hit the local businesses with that as well. Great, thank you very much. Item K is basically just a reminder, but you have leaf pickup has started, and that will run through the first week of December tentatively. Again, all the leaves need to be in their proper containers, you know, the paper bags and so forth, and the village will be obviously running around picking those up. As we see them, in some cases, we're not trying to, independent on weather, we're not waiting for one particular week, because I know as the leaves are falling, everybody's trying to keep their yards looking nice, so we're finding different various days during the month to just drive around and pick up the leaf bags. If anybody has any questions, again, you can feel free to call down to the village hall. Next is correspondence regarding the mobile unit for the Department of Health Motor Vehicles. The Department of Motor Vehicles will be at the village hall, 9 Fairlawn Drive on October 19th, which is a Thursday, from 10 to 12 and 1 to 3 for all your motor vehicle needs except for written examinations. So now we'll roll into our resolutions. The first one is Resolution 131 to authorize the employment of Nicholas J. Amante and Nicholas P. D. Regatas as Department of Public Work laborers effective October 16, 2023, at an hourly rate of $25.73 per employee. Have a motion, please?
Motion,
Steve on a motion, second.
motion.
Donna?
Second.
Questions, comments? Just a comment for general public is that these two positions were vacant, and we are just in the process of obviously refilling them. They're not an addition to, just to kind of be clear with that one. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0. Resolution 132 to approve Otis Elevator for the repair of the Village Hall building elevator to the second floor at a price not to exceed $6,850. Here attached is your quote. This was the low bid quote for these repairs. Have a motion, please?
Motion.
Okay, Vernon on the motion. Second, Steve. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Abstain?
Okay, that would be 4-0-1. Okay, resolution 133 to adopt the Halloween curfew on Monday, October 30th and Tuesday, October 31st, beginning at 7 p.m. until 6 p.m. Have a motion, please?
Motion.
Donna?
Second.
Steve? Questions, comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Resolution to authorize the approval for a Memorial Park bench on Ahern Boulevard requested by Dennis Schultz. Have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Donna? Steve? Questions, comments? If I may, for the comment portion of this, Dennis lost his son a year ago, and like a few other benches along Ahern Boulevard, near the pond, he would like to have a bench installed dedicated on 100% of his cost in memory of his son. So we met with him a couple of weeks ago in the rain, just kind of walked the area and we picked up 2 or 3 areas that he liked, and I think by the time he gets the money, raises it, and again, this could be a springtime project to install a bench. But, you know, that's what the request was for. Any other questions or comments? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0. Next is Resolution 136, to schedule a public hearing date for November 6th at 7 p.m. for the adoption of the local law establishing expansion of residence requirement for the position of village historian. Yeah. Any,
We have to go back to one.
I did? Oh, I'm so sorry.
We can finish this one,
Okay,
Finish this.
and then we'll go back.
okay. My apologies, guys. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Steve? Any questions, comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0. Next is Resolution 135, to approve the facilities use request form for the 5th Annual Washingtonville Girl Scout Hero Walk to be held on Saturday, November 11th, or Saturday, the November 18th, between 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. at Vern Allen Park. Have a motion?
Motion.
Second is, Steve is on the motion. Any questions, comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0. All right, next is Resolution 137, to approve PND Consulting Engineering proposal for the development of the High Grove wells not to exceed $105,700. Have a motion, please?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
Questions, comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0. Next is the Resolution 138, to accept the resignation of Department of Public Works laborer Nicholas Muller, effective Wednesday, October 18th, 2023. Have a motion, please?
Motion.
Steve, second.
Second.
Vernon. Okay, questions, comments? I'd like one comment. I just want to say that Nick was a real valuable player in our team, good leader, great worker, did excellent things, more than, he actually was the one who was leading the charge on the paving project down at the Memorial Park. So, he'll be missed, but we wish him the best for a better opportunity, and, you know, good for him. Any other questions, comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, let's see, Resolution 139, abstract resolution to authorize the budget transfers and amendment necessary to effect necessary transfers of funds and to pay warrants. Motion.
Motion. Second.
Vernon, Steve. Questions, comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0. And lastly, we will have the Resolution 140. This resolution is to accept the Metro Sound Pros quote for our sound system not to exceed $4,995. This was also low bid, and the only open item we have with him is just out of an email to see on the installation timeframe. Have a motion, please?
Motion.
Steve, second.
Second.
Vernon. Questions? Comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0. We're at the portion of our agenda for public comment. No comments.
Are you gonna read this resolution, Tom?
I'm sorry?
Are you gonna read the resolution, the historian?
I can.
Mayor, you're not required to read it, you can if you wish, but it's not required, it's already before the board, so
Okay.
it can be
Thank you.
incorporated into the record.
Great. Thank you.
Sure.
Okay. No public comment. So with that, we have a need for executive session, so can I have a motion to adjourn into executive session to discuss contract issues for our DPW and police department?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion.
A motion, second. Vernon, you did. We got, any questions, comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you very much.